Hey farmhands, Farmer Reef here. Welcome back to another episode of The Haul. Today we are going to do a little review on a product and do the install today. What I've always wanted to try on one of my reef tanks was try out this is called Refugium Mineral Mud from CaribSea. This is 1 gallon. So I've always seen lots of tanks that run the Refugium mud and wondered like how beneficial it was going to be for your reef tank or not. What I've learned with here, doing a lot of research, like these mineral muds have a lot of different elements in it: strontium, calcium, iron, stuff that is beneficial for your tank, but how much actually is in here that's actually going to benefit from it. What I'm looking for is the refugium part of it. I want to have a nice thin layer in my refugium. What it's good for is like when you're growing pods and different little creatures, a lot of them like to burrow into like sand. But with this mud, it's so very fine that it's easy for them to, you know, go in and hide, multiply, a great place for bacteria to grow, lots of surface area, and it gives you that nice natural look as well. Plus, if you're ever growing mangroves or anything like that, the roots will go right into this soil. It's not even like it's really soil. So let's learn a little about it. They got the directions on here and what it is. I'm just gonna read it to you. So the CaribSea Mineral Mud is a unique blend of sediments that duplicate tropical fringe coastal mangroves environments. Mineral mud is a size or range compatible with soft burrowing infaunal macro-animals, ideal for mud refugiums, seaglasses, macro-algaes, and mangroves. Mineral mud provides a variety of trace elements: natural, bio-available, iodine, plus calcium, strontium, iron, and free carbon. In addition, mineral mud contains live marine bacteria to complete the tropical ecosystem. So it started saying we're getting like a biodiversity of bacteria that may be in here, or it's definitely going to grow on top of it, and that's what I'm looking for. I want something like on my refugium on the hulk, on its sump, it has its own compartment and it has a little bit of flow. Nothing, no fish can get in there. Nothing can eat any of the copepods or any little pods that I'm growing in there. So that's why it's such a great biodiversity of marine activity that can go on in that area and not be touched. And when they want to get out of that area, they just flow over and boom, right into the return pump, right in the main display tank to help feed the corals and the fish and just keep the tank all populated. Because if you don't have an area like that, they are hiding in all the live rock like you see behind me. But if they get all eaten up, because like a lot of dragonets, a lot of finicky feeder fish that don't like to eat, you know, frozen food, and they like live food, that's the best way is to get your pods multiplying in your tank. And if you can keep a great supplement, those fish are going to survive even if they're not even eating frozen foods. You know what I'm saying? So we always try to make our tanks biodiversity as much as possible as a living reef. And that's what we're trying to do today. So I'm going to get this all installed for you guys. I'm going to try it. I'll get you on my review how I feel about this. I have LG Barn is sending me down their extra large refugium package. So we're going to have like thousands of pods, different kinds of species of them. But my plan is they are going to be added to that refugium, probably 1 jar. And I think 1 jar is 5,280 pods. So I'll end up putting 1 jar in there for that refugium so they can just multiply in there. And then we're going to pour the rest of the thousands of them right in the main display tank when they show up. Plus they're sending down their, they have bricks. It's very porous material where the pods can go inside it and just multiply and grow in it. It's a very great place for them they feel safe and just keep multiplying in there to keep feeding the reef tank. And that's what I like about it. I just want to have that nice area so we can put all this mineral mud in there. Like I said, it has a few trace elements that will help the reef tank. Plus just have an area for all those small little creatures and animals just to burrow into and just have a good time. If they're happy, we're happy. So let's go ahead. Let's go put it in that area. Like some of the directions here, it's gonna be very fine stuff. So I'm definitely gonna shut off the flow. I just want this stuff all to settle to the bottom because I don't need it blowing out throughout the tank. So that's the plan today, guys. Let's go into the fish room. Let's go install this refugium mud and let it settle and go from there. So here is the refugium area. I got the 2 tons of LED strips here. That's going to keep any of the algae alive. I got the water flowing from the Pax Bellum. So this is what we need to turn off so that we have no more flow coming back into this tank. So I'm just going to shut that flow off right now. So right now there is no more flow. So we'll make sure, just gonna wait for this all to stop, and then we can start adding it. So this is it here, guys. Refugium Mineral Mud. That's the 1 gallon. So it has all the directions what to do on the sides. And everything we read together. So I'm just gonna wait this for the flow. And I'm gonna get this opened up and then we're gonna pour it in. You guys can see how fine it is. It just looks just like coffee. So we're gonna get her dumped in here. See, it makes the water look so black. I definitely don't want that flowing into the tank. So I think I'm just going to put this whole container down in the water and just dump it out. So it's just not going to go all over the place. It's definitely nasty black, I'll tell you that one. See how much we got out of here. So we're almost all out. Put some of the air out of there. There we go. And we're almost there. Just rinse it out a little bit. I think this jug is about 65 bucks, guys. I think it was. I think I got it at Big Al's. They carry it, Marine Depot. There we go, just like black gold, that stuff. So all we have to do now is just let that settle, and then I can turn the flow back on. There we go, it looks just like your coastal region. So I just turn I can turn my Tunzi fuse lights on here. These are pretty awesome. These things here, what's wicked, they're totally fully submergible, so you can put them all underwater if you want. And if these ones here, you can buy a controller for them, a dimming controller, or pick your spectrum. So you can have red or blue or whatever color you want. So pretty sweet. I think that one's on the blue setting. But they will eventually, they'll turn to the color that I want them on, so that's the plan. So that one's starting to fire up. I got these hooked up to my Apex, so these ones here, I can run the 4 hours on, 4 hours off as well. That's my Pax Bellum. So a lot of you guys have been asking me on YouTube, why am I running a Refugium with the Pax Bellum over there? Well, the reason is, so that's my main nutrient exporter right there, the Pax Bellum. This here, this Refugium, I always wanted, this is just to grow pods, guys, and make sure that my reef tank always has a very fresh supply of live little critter pods, anything for finicky feeders, just to give that biodiversity of having that Refugium with the Miracle Mud, with some Cheeto in there, because this one the Pax Bellum will be full of Cheeto. That's just a nutrient export. This is not really for nutrient export. This is just to grow my little critters and have the algae barn, and those guys are gonna fill that up for me, and they're gonna multiply and keep the hulk healthy. So that's why, if you're asking me why I'm keeping Refugium with this tank, so when I designed this whole sump here, that was the whole reason to have its own Refugium. It's away from the skimmer, it's from the filter socks. It just flows right into its own return back through into this A400 pump back to the main display tank. So that's why I did it. Hopefully that answers your questions, guys. And what else? You guys noticed there was one light out. It's being fixed. I had to get a couple puck LEDs for it. So I'll get it back online. Hopefully that answered one of your questions as well. So that's my little product review on this Refugium mud, and I will let you know how well it works out, if it's doing the trick or is it causing any problems. So that's the plan. That's about 55, 60 bucks. I picked that one up at Big L's in Ottawa. So hopefully this is going to turn out really awesome. I'm looking forward. Like, this little Refugium is almost like its own little display. It's pretty cool. You never know what's going to grow in there. So guys, that's all right. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I just wanted to show you what my plans were with that Refugium, if I use that Refugium mud. So stay tuned. We're gonna have some algae barn videos coming up. I'm pretty excited to send down the extra large pack for the Hulk here. It's gonna have some wicked colonies of different copepods in this reef tank. So if you guys, would be awesome if you guys could hit that little notification so you make sure you get all these videos. And if you guys could hit that like button. So please subscribe and hit that like button.